everybody, coming in for a moment with Celeste. We're gonna have a very merry make today. I hope you'll enjoy this. I do. A very merry make. So when you come in, say hi. Have following moments with Celeste, please do so. And we'll just give it a minute here to get some eyes on us here and get some conversations going. It's a beautiful day in Omaha today. It's about 55, 60 degrees, I think it is today. Not bad. Not bad for this time of year. But welcome on in. Let's come in and have a few moments together. And today we're going to focus on, my efforts are going to be on making a Christmas centerpiece that I would use for my dining room table area. But it also could sit, and there's many spots here in my house that I could put it. I have a big bar up there that faces out into the living room. We decorate that usually for Christmas. And we have some tables, of course, you know, but this one here today we're making is a little hefty, so it's going to have a substantial area. So let's go ahead and we are going to get started. If you've popped on, would you say hi so I know you're here with me? And that I'm not all here by my lonesome. I got John here though, he's helping me today. He's gonna be my eyes to make sure that I get my project straight from his angle. Hi, Lori's Creations. Good to see you, Lori. Happy Wednesday. We're going to do we're gonna be a very merry make today. So what I'm going to do is for the holidays. Hello, Estella. Welcome back today. Good to see you. I hope you all had a wonderful night's rest since we last saw each other. And so something that I like to do in my home decor here for the holidays, but I like to do it all year long. But you know how I love to layer in my scrapbooks? Well, I love to do layering in my decor pieces as well that are home finishing pieces. And so at this time of year, one of my main go-tos are little wreaths that don't cost an arm and a leg. So I have tons of little wreaths, and this is all that I have out right now. The rest are still in storage, but I love these wreaths. And this wreath here that I'm holding, and this one here, you can find them at HL on their 50% off. They are just right at $3, which isn't bad. So when I see them on sales, when I find wreaths at, you know, garage sales, at estate sales, I see them at craft stores that are on sale, I'll usually grab them. Now I have a couple of the large ones, but like I said, those right now are in the garage in the Christmas storage. But what we're going to do today is we are going to create the centerpiece using these leaves. So the first thing I have here, this is another one of my go-tos. It's a rattan placemat. I have had this one here probably 10 years. And I use this a lot to put under my centerpieces. And so we're going to start our layering with that. Then the next thing I'm going to put on is I am going to add this here, kind of go in the middle. Then I love my little cake server here. This gets used for all the holidays, because this is going to give it some elevation. So we have this on here. Then I'm going to add Look at that pretty doily I've been hanging on to. And we're going to put it right here on the top of this cake stand. I like this cake stand because I'm able to move it around as I'm working on putting my pieces together. Then, I was at a little thrift store in a little bitty Plattsmouth, Nebraska last week, and lo and behold, they had this Merry Christmas bowl that I nabbed onto. And it's plastic, but it feels like it's glass. It's very substantial, has some weight to it, and then it has Merry Christmas written here. Now I'm wondering first, I might take this wreath here, put it in the middle here. Hi Tammy, welcome in. Welcome in to a very merry bake. So I'm going to put this wreath here on top of the doily. And then I think I'll set this bowl right in the middle of it. So John's over there to see, making sure I have it all straight so you can see what I'm doing. Now we are going to do probably, it's about 6 more layers onto this. So now some of the pieces I'm using for this are just things that I had to have to put in as fillers to give it more height and things like that. So look at what we're putting in the bowl. We're putting in some package paper. And we're just going to put that right in here, okay? Because that's going to elevate this for the next thing I'm adding on. So we're putting this paper right here. And then we're going to add this wreath here is what I think I'm going to need. I brought this just in case, just to give it a little more stability. It's just a little wire wreath. Let me see if we're going to need it. We'll find out pretty quickly. Okay, so I'm going to put that there. I'm going to get that centered. Then I'm going to add this wreath right here into the top of that bowl. Hi Sue! Welcome to a merry bake. And this isn't going to take long, gals. Then my next wreath I have, I'm going to put it right here on top of this wreath to give some more height and some more layering. Then, let's see, was that what I wanted to do? Hang on, let me see. Yes, okay. Then, I'm going to put, look what else I found. And this one is a ceramic crock. It is heavier than I'll get out, and it says believe. So I found this bowl at the thrift shop, and I found this bowl. It says Merry Christmas at the thrift shop. Now I'm going to set this in there. You can see how that's going to push it down a little bit. Okay. All right. Then, to add some filling inside of here, got some red gingham. Just going to put this down in there. You're not even going to see it. And then I have this little round thingy, a piece of wood chunk that I'm going to sit in here. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different pieces that are already layered in here. We are going to need a taller chair. I'm almost to the end of it though, and then we'll add all the pretty stuff inside of it. Then I have this square flat. And this square flat one, I am going to set it on top of that other piece of chunkiness. Oops, maybe it isn't going to fit. Let me see something here. Okay, there we go. Probably not going to need that square flat. So this one was another one of the wreaths, and I have this big wood chunky house that I've had forever and ever. That was, I got for like a set of 3 of them for $1 at a garage sale. So I thought that I would probably set that in there. You know, I could angle it a little bit if I want to. Make it straight. Okay. So that right there is going to be the base. Okay.
Take and move your believe back towards you.
Move my believe back towards me. Okay, let's see here. If I can do that. Is that okay?
Yeah, you can fix it.
Does it just be this down? Okay. I think I like this better to just be straight on. Okay, now I've got a couple pieces here of just some straggly. Celeste is hiding behind the bush. I've got some pieces here that are just some different. I love finding these type of things. And I think I found these. They were either at Hobby Lobby a few years ago or they were at Joann's. Okay. So we're going to take, I'm just going to see what this looks like, to put it behind this tree a little bit. And we're going to make it look like a tree coming out the side. And then I have another one here. Maybe we'll do another one back here. So they at least give the effect of a tree, right? Okay, the next thing we're going to do, Tammy says, hi, John.
Hi, Tammy.
Next thing I'm going to put in here is I want to string my cute little lights. And these are just little soft LED lights. And I'm going to unwrap it. I got these the other day. I think these might have been $4 for this. I got another set that weren't the LEDs for just $2.99. So they have a battery in them, right? And in here somewhere is, no doubt, the bottom or the top of the battery. See, I thought I had them in here, but maybe I lost it. Okay, so I'm going to take this battery and we're going to start down here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just tuck it in. Oh, there it is. I left it over there, huh? Think get the battery on. Oh boy. Well, guess I'm going to stick in, but we're going to stick this then, this battery pack. I'm going to stick it down underneath this wreath in the bottom layer, okay? So I've got that, still got that lined up. And then I'm going to take my little sweet string of lights here. And these are tiny, just little bitty, they're those little glow lights. They're not like the big Christmas tree lights. So I get this unwrapped. Don't want to make too much of a mess. Okay. So then we're going to start winding it. Now I'm believing I am going to put some down here on this bottom wreath, and we'll see how much, because I do have 2 strands of these if I need it, but I don't know that I will. Okay, so we're going to leave this in on this wreath right here, and then we're going to come up to the next level here. Just kind of wind those around. And then I'm going to come up. I think I might get lucky, we'll see. And I'm going to string some up here, up on the top. And I'm putting them on the edge because I want it to be seen, okay, when I light it. Now, you're not going to be able to see this, but I can. And before we get done, I will go ahead and turn the lights off, but not right now. You can probably turn that one off, honey. Okay, so we've got those put in. Now, I have these beautiful, I love poinsettias. Love, love, love. Hello, Jerry. Welcome in. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Okay, so then in this, I think I'm going to put maybe, I gotta see, I think maybe up here on top is where I want it. But let's see, I want it to face the front. Okay, we'll see here in a minute. I only have 2 of those, so maybe I put one there and the other one up here for now. And once I get through playing around with it, I probably will change things up a bit, because that's just kind of what I do, you know. And then I have, let's see here, we have some red berries. And we have jingle bells. Can you hear them? Okay. So I have these 2 berry picks. Now, I have to look and see how I want to do this, because I might break these picks apart, which I think is what I'm going to do, because they're kind of big. Can you see that? So I'm going to break it apart. Got this one and we've got this one. And then this one here, I think we'll maybe see if we can get this one tucked in the front. I just don't want it covering up my words believe. Let's see, I'm not sure I like that. What do you think?
don't.
John don't like it? It's hard to do it when I'm looking at it backwards.
You gotta turn your bowl.
So I'm going to turn around, guys, so I can see the front of it while we do this. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm not liking that there. I think it's too big. So let's try it again. Let's go down here. And we're going to put one of them over here, one of the poinsettias. And then the other one, I think I'm going to put it, I could set it down on the bottom too. So I've got a few choices here. But let's see, what if we stick this one up here? I had it all together the other day to see how it was going to work. But then, you know, do you ever remember what you did before? I don't. I need to start, when I do something beforehand, I need to, look at it like that. I need to start taking a picture, right? Oops. This way. Okay. She's getting serious now. She's got to stand up. Put it down here. There we go. Okay. Even that out a little bit more. Okay, then we got a little pick of something, something. And I think what we'll do here is we're going to put one of them down here on the front. And then we have more of these. So let's just see how many we think we're going to need. And if I put one down inside of there. I like my centerpieces, since this is going to be on the table. I do like it to be able to, no matter what angle I look at it, that I'm going to see some of the pretties. So that's kind of what I'm aiming at. Okay, now let's see. That's the front. This is the side. Okay, we're going to put, and I think we'll stick this one down in here. I can get it down there far enough. Okay. And then I'm going to put a couple smaller ones up here on the top part, just to bring in a little bit more flair. All right, and then let's see here. sit back down so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. All right, then down here on this level, okay, I've got to see, I think I've got, I know we have some cute jingle bells, so I have to decide if I want to put these like on, oh gosh, that's cute. I don't know if you can see it, but here, I'll let you see one. Isn't that cute? Put little jingle bells on them. I like that a lot. Let's see. Stick those back there. Then we have, let's see, what else do I have here?
Put that on the bottom.
Well, I was going to do that, but I didn't care for it that much, so I decided not to. Okay, now I'm going to cut some of this because I'm thinking I want some of these little chunky things here to just stick out going around. What do you think? If you guys see anything that you think I need to do differently, you know I'm all for you letting me know, right? So what I'm doing here is I'm cutting these in half, these twigs, and then I'm just going to put some of them, because they're a different texture, okay? We're going to put a different texture of this in here, and then we'll put one right here, and then I think I'll cut a little snippet off over here. Let's see what this little piece, because what my goal is that they're just a little bit different colors. Okay. So far, so good, I think. Now I do have more. And I want to turn it so you can see it now. Okay. Slow she goes. Okay. So there she is.
Can you believe? There you go. There.
That way? Okay. There's that side of it. And we'll put this green in here. And then we have those little red little sugar balls down inside there.
Poinsettia don't go with it.
Hmm?
That poinsettia is too.
Which
too much.
poinsettia? Over here is too big.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see if we take it and push it down further.
That's better.
Just gotta smash them in sometimes, don't you?
That's better. Just sticking out too far.
Yeah. Thank you for letting me know. So then I have these cute little berries that are those little sugar berries. And this one here, I think what I'm going to do is just cut a few clusters, not clusters, but maybe just a few pieces off of it. And I'm going to just lay these on this level here in between the bells and all the goodness, okay? So let's get some of these cut off. Yes, this will be the table it's going to stay on, but it's not going to have the Halloween, the fall, it's not going to have the fall tablecloth. I will have I usually go with some type of a plaid, or I do like a necklace lace with some things on it. But this here, so it's clear over on the edge, so we've got another. But I'll have to see. It just depends, you know, on what the sizing of it's going to look like, on the proportion of things. But do you see how you can just take these pieces that were already put, they're just already made, you just got to stack them. Check them out when you go to the craft stores or to the Goodwills. That's where I got my bowls. I still can't believe that that one Goodwill, little Goodwill in Plattsmouth, Nebraska had this little bitty are these two bowls. That was kind of a surprise for me. A very pleasant surprise. So John, I'm going to ask you, I think he went outside. Okay, now I do have some pine cones down here. Hey John, do you want to turn those lights off? Probably not this one, but here, let's turn the overhead. There you go. That gives you a better idea of what it's like. Oh, I got to get it centered again. Going to have to work on my centering here. Okay. So I've got these big pine cones. Maybe if I just lay some of those there at the base. Just cutting these off of another greenery arrangement that I had. Let's see if I can get it. Let's see. We'll put one up here and we'll set one back here. Okay. Now I'll have to decide. I do have another strand of lights. Honey, just for the fun of it, can you flip off the camera light there? And let's just see if I have enough lights on this.
Oh, yeah.
Do I need some down here?
No. You want the focus to be on the top anyway.
Okay, ladies. Are you ready? Here we go. There is what we have. Can you see that with the lights on it? Those little tiny soft lights are so fun. And if I wanted to, I could go back in with some other greenery pieces that are different. Like, for example, I just like to use a lot of different things and textures. So like example here, I have these little ones you get at Hobby Lobby that I just use for embellishing things. I could take those and stick some of those just down in here. And you see how that gives a little bit of a flop to that? Let's try and see what it's going to look like. How about that?
Put the light on.
No, we'll leave it like that for now. Okay, but see, they're different textures. I learned this technique a long time ago. My friend and I went to one of the area greenhouse nurseries that did a tree decorating exhibit class. And oh my word. But one of the things they really drilled into my head that I walked away with is, when you're decorating a Christmas tree, that you need to get your holes filled up, right? And sometimes we think we can do that. We want to do that. We try to do it. But they showed some of the different ways to do it. That entails a little more than just pluffing out your branches. So what they do, and I might, if I'm up to it, one of these days here in the next 3 weeks, I might go ahead and decorate my tree for you, show you how I do it. Because, there we go, you guys. I'm still not happy with this little guy kind of leaning. Is he leaning there?
Right there.
Is that good, honey? Okay. All right. But anyway, let me push this out of the side a little bit so you can see me while I talk to you. I hope you enjoyed that. Something different, right? Now, the other thing I could have done is if I didn't have that wood house, I could take a mason jar and put a candle in that and set that on the top. Wouldn't that be pretty? That would be a very pretty thing to do as well. The other thing too, I could have even gone so far as put one of my little brush trees up here and gives it that full tree look. But I decided on this because I like the homey, down the home, warm, cozy feel. So what I was going to say is, when you're decorating your tree, one of the things that they suggest is buying a lot of different, there's some of those picks over there. Just some tree picks, maybe not. Buying a lot of different picks and twigs, okay? And what you do, so when we're decorating our tree, you know, we have our tree, it's all the same thing, everything. You take these and you shove these in, all these different greeneries. I thought I had some back there. But, you know, that gets pretty pricey. It really does. So what I try to do is at the end of the year, when everything's 90%, there we go, that's one. But you know, just here's some Dollar Tree ones. But what you do is you spread them open and then you shove that in your trees, okay? And it adds filler, but it gives it a different texture. So like right here, I have 2 different picks and I would use both of those. And you just go around in the holes and that's what you're going to fill it with, okay? Then the other piece is using bows or your ribbons. Some people don't like to use bows and ribbons, and that's okay because we all do our own thing. What I do is if I'm using ribbon, I get the wide ribbon. I start at the top and then I bring it down about a foot and then I twist it. Bring it over this way about a foot and I twist it. Bring it down and twist it. And then I come back up and do the same thing. And I'll do that maybe, it depends on my size of my tree. On this little tree I have here, I would only probably do 4 of those. And then the other piece is large pieces of ornaments. So these poinsettias, any kind of cheap poinsettia even you can get, work great for being fillers. Just shove them in. Shove them in. And what they talked about is making sure that you shove it in far enough so it helps cover up the trunk of the tree. But yet, when people look in it, it's not going to be like this out here in front, but they're going to see it. So that's just that's 3 tips for you. And I'll try to remember to do that. If I don't remember, I'm not sure when I'm going to put my tree up. That's my problem. And I may have to, because we have a really large tree, but the last 2 years, since it's just basically John and I hear, we use my little all-season tree over here. So I might just decorate this little all-season tree, and maybe I'll do that sometime next week, because I'm going to be gone the following week. I'll be gone for 8 days up to Minnesota, and then by the time I come back, it's Thanksgiving week, so that's probably what I'll do, okay? Anywho, Mr. Live, cleaning my craft room. Oh, Peggy. Oh, you guys, I can never get mine totally clean. John and I were just talking about it just before we went on live, because I've got to find some solutions. I just do, because I just like it. Like Peggy says, we have so much stuff, and of course they're all so important and so valuable to us. We could never part with them. But anyway. Well, ladies, I'm glad you were able to join me. I'm going to put this back so you can see it. It says, Believe, Merry Christmas, and this will be a centerpiece here on my dining room table. So, love you all. Enjoy the rest of your day. And join me Friday night, 7 o'clock Central, on the Crafty Bunch for my first Friday sale. And that's part of my problem with my mess right now. So that's what I'm going to go work on right now again. So blessings to you all. Love you all. Thank you, friends. Follow me if you're not already following Moments with Celeste. I'd love to have you do so. And we'll talk to you later. See you Friday. Bye.